Hey guys, welcome to Elablo. Today we are going to see Viola. A wealthy woman hides a strange and sinister secret beneath her attractive exterior. She changes husbands every 3 days when a pet inexplicably dies around her. Her mysterious past dates back to her youthful quest for fame and success as an actress. To further her ambitions, she makes a Faustian pact with the devil, offering herself to him in exchange for summoning a monster named Terror, who she believes will propel her career forward. At first, Viola was an unknown actress, but her path to stardom coincided with a series of unfortunate accidents involving her competitors. As her fame grew, she attracted the attention of a prominent local businessman, whom she soon married. However, tragedy strikes when her husband dies in a fatal accident, leaving her a fortune. Viola has undergone a transformation over the years to become a famous child specialist in demand by wealthy families who seek her guidance on how to deal with unruly children. She is rumored to have a ring that can control demons, giving her an aura of good luck. Despite her supernatural connection, not even demonic powers can save her once glowing figure. Interestingly, as a trio, Torta, Gina, and Sophie hatched a plan to infiltrate Viola's life. They pretended to be a family and attended her lavish parties seeking to discipline their daughter. Their true motive is to investigate the existence of the terrifying, evil monster rumored to be under Viola's control. Deep inside the mansion, Gina and Sophie stumble upon a cold room that once housed the children in Viola's care. The room is now empty, but the macabre diary reveals the terrible truth. Viola has a horror slave who extracts children's souls, turns them into fear-filled dolls, and then devours them. Confused by the city's rampant crime and the stark reality of the disappearance, Sophia questions why her parents don't ask the police to intervene. Meanwhile, Jung finds herself in a terrifying predicament. Unable to tell his true intentions, he can only withstand Viola's overtures when he stops. However, things take an unexpected turn when Viola senses that Gina and Sophie have invaded her forbidden place and suddenly leave. When Gina and Sophie discover a mysterious and haunted room, they realize that this is where the horrors beckon. Connecting the dots reveals a disturbing truth, and with it, Viola's true identity. The fabled ring was once supposed to hold terror, but it turned out to be a deceptive hoax. In fact, Viola has been consumed by a monster she summoned years ago, ultimately turning her into a terrifying creature. Suddenly, countless tentacles began attacking Gina. Without hesitation, Jin quickly pulled out the glowing dagger, swung it precisely, and cut off the menacing tentacles one by one. As the chaotic scene unfolded, a mysterious magic circle appeared in front of Sophia, and a powerful terror known as Terror One was about to emerge from it. Just as fear was about to strike her heart, Sophia was suddenly surrounded by a golden light. The potion in her hand took effect, bringing her unexpected power. In an instant, the fragile avatar of terrorists was destroyed without leaving a trace, but the danger is far from over. In an unexpected twist, the terrifyingly transformed Viola meets her end, impaling her with a broadsword and ending her evil. The perpetrator of this fatal incident is none other than Giant, who has a deep desire to avenge past grievances. Unbeknownst to them, a peculiar cinema with a disturbing appetite for patrons appears in the background. Strange things keep happening within its walls, and as the film draws to a close, laughter turns to tears of sadness. Inexplicably, the girl is transported to another dimension and faces nightmarish visions. Despite the horrors that surround her, she bravely calls out the names of her missing loved ones, determined to face the unknown horrors that lie ahead. Meanwhile, Luke, a skilled demon mage tasked with hunting terrifying creatures, senses the menacing presence of man-eaters lurking in a movie theater he wants to investigate. He tirelessly immerses himself in a movie marathon in the hope of discovering something unusual. As the days passed, Luke's search was unsuccessful, and he could only remain in the movie theater, tirelessly vigilant. Meanwhile, Tord and Sophie tirelessly pursue their own investigation, each following different leads in an attempt to unravel the mystery of the missing people. Sophia dives deep into the digital world and uses the internet to uncover information about victims of cinema's past. Interestingly, all the missing persons were seated in row L, seat 13 during the ill-fated theater visit. On this day, when Luke returned to the movie theater to continue his investigation, he found himself sitting in this seat, causing foreboding. Luke kept a watchful eye on the people around him for any suspicious activity, but as time went on, he found nothing out of the ordinary. Suddenly, a voice called his name in the theater. As if on cue, footage of his father training him in swordplay as a child flashed on the big screen. The flickering projector created a strange atmosphere that made Luke's anxiety even stronger. When the movie finally ended and the audience dispersed, Luke was inexplicably nowhere to be found. Fearing the worst, Tord rushed to the cinema where his friend had disappeared. Guided by the mysterious ring in his hand, Zhang felt a faint demonic aura. When he arrived at the movie theater, the Ring of Swords revealed a terrifying presence right before his eyes. What he doesn't know is that the film itself is tainted with a horrific evil, hiding its true form from his view. His father's sword-like training appeared from the heart of Luke. Whether these visions are any instructions on his survival or just the performance of his subconscious consciousness is still unclear. He hopes that Luke will become a demon knight as soon as possible, donning the powerful armor that symbolizes the honor and strength of the knightly order. However, young Luke was plagued by weakness, which made him ill-prepared for the arduous journey. At the crucial moment, his mother's comfort came to him. Her gentle breath enveloped him, and though her face remained covered, she offered an ethereal comfort that calmed his fears and doubts. Meanwhile, Tord, a seasoned adventurer and Luke's mentor, he tirelessly searches for an entrance to lead them into the heart of the mysterious kingdom. Luke remembers important information that their trusted ally Sophia shared with him about the location of the elusive portal. Luke drew his sword and thrust it hard into the ancient chair that hid the hidden path, revealing an ominous portal. Looking into the vortex, Luke found himself in a hallucination. He sees fragments of his past, a kaleidoscope of memories that blur the lines between reality and fantasy. In this vulnerable moment, Tord's soothing voice broke through the fog of uncertainty and brought Luke back to his senses. Although he was not given the title of Demon Knight, Luke's awakening as a powerful demon mage brought new potential to his journey. Inspired by the Force, he faced the sheer horror that lay ahead and pulled his twins out with skill and grace. As he charged towards the terrifying creature, he unleashed his magical powers, and his magic orbs rained down on the monster in unrelenting fury. In a scene of awe and power, the black giant turned into ash and spread like a dispersing mist. However, the battle was far from over, and a giant eyeball suddenly appeared in the void. Undeterred, Luke refused to be bound by traditional customs. Quickly, he grabbed the longsword from the field, proving that a mage could indeed handle a knight's weapon. Filled with courage, he lunged at the beast's eyeball, joined by the sword. The combined strength of the two powerful horror hunters proved to be overwhelming, and the giant eyeball finally crumbled, shattered, and disappeared. Undeterred by the praise he receives, Zobin remains humble and unassuming. However, Luke is determined to repay Tord's kindness by promising to repay the debt in his own time. For now, however, they stand together as a united force, ready to face any adversary who dares to challenge the delicate balance between their realm and the distant. If you enjoy this video, subscribe to enjoy content like this every week. Peace.